Okay, I see people are coming in slowly, so we're going to kick off and start little by little. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining this webinar to meet the champions, the winners of the 2025 Covenant of Mayors Award. For those who don't know, and for a bit of context, so first, I'll introduce myself. I'm Alison LaCour. I'm the Communications and Campaigns Coordinator of the Covenant of Mayors Europe initiative. And we're here today to hear about the Covenant of Mayors Award winners' decarbonization journeys. For those who don't know, the Covenant of Mayors is a European initiative that gathers over 11,000 signatories of cities and towns of all sizes across Europe, voluntarily committed to the EU's energy and climate targets. The initiative was launched by the European Commission in 2008, and it's a bottom-up movement of cities and towns and local authorities across Europe working to safeguard quality of life in Europe by building resilience, climate neutrality, and a socially just energy transition. As the largest movement and community of local governments working on energy and climate in Europe, the Covenant of Mayors' main raison d'être is really to share experiences across Europe and inspire replication of successful energy transition strategies and successful climate action. So the Covenant of Mayors Award was launched really to spotlight excellence in the Covenant community and celebrate concrete achievements of its signatories towards climate neutral, resilient, and just future, no matter the size or the capacity of the municipalities. The Covenant of Mayors signatories, the great majority are small to mid-sized cities and towns. And so the Covenant of Mayors Award really wants to spotlight and celebrate this. This year's award was done in line with our annual campaign, the City's Heat Detox, shedding light on the achievements in heat decarbonization. Why is this important? Fossil-fueled heating still represents 72% of building heating in Europe today. Not only does this represent 567 million tons of carbon emissions annually, but it also poses a real danger and threat to our city's health, affecting air quality, affecting our local industries, and affecting energy security. So the Covenant of Mayors Cities Heat Detox Award, which was launched about 1 year ago, aims to inspire and empower cities to move away from toxic heat sources by embracing collective district heating and also clean heat and energy solutions. So this year's Covenant of Mayors Award was awarded to 3 cities for showing bold ambition, innovation, and real care for communities within their heat detox journeys. Decarbonizing heat is very challenging. It involves a lot of stakeholders, entities, and people, and has far-reaching impacts on our society, our economy, and on our communities. So the 3 award winners, they really stood out not only in their achievement in heat decarbonization, but also for their stakeholder engagement, their care for vulnerable communities, their effective communication, and other benefits such as energy independence and job creation. So we will hear from all 3 of these winners in detail in their strategies, from first Domokos, Greece, then we'll hear from Mechelen, Belgium, and Lappeenranta, Finland to close. So the first speakers from the municipality of Domokos. This municipality has less than 10,000 inhabitants, and it was commended by the jury for its extensive community engagement and ambitious project scope relative to municipal size and resources. We have with us here the mayor of Domokos, Mr. Charalampos Lioulos, and Evangelia Sisopoulos, head of programming, organization, IT, and transparency of the municipality of Domokos, who are going to tell us a bit more about their heat decarbonization strategy. Up to you.
Hello to everyone. Thanks for this opportunity to present our work about the decarbonization. I am Charalampos Lioulos, and I am the mayor of the municipality of Domokos. I'm honored to be here today representing the municipality of Domokos, a small yet resilient community nestled in central Greece, with just over 9,000 residents spread across 695 square kilometers and 32 local communities. Domokos may seem modest in size and resources, but what we lack in scale, we make up for in determination and vision. Despite the challenges, we face limited resources and the rural infrastructure. We've chosen not to let these obstacles define us. Instead, we've turned them into a driving force for change. As a proud signatory of the Covenant of Mayors since 2013, Domokos has committed to ambitious climate goals. By 2030, we aim to reduce our greenhouse gas emission by 44%, a target that reflects our deep commitment to sustainability and our belief that even small communities can lead the way in energy transition and climate action. As part of the municipality's strategic vision for a sustainable future, Domokos is deeply committed to building an energy efficient, low carbon economy, one that only reduces emissions but also fosters innovation and generates local employment opportunities, particularly in the rapidly expanding green economy. We are focusing our efforts on clean mobility solutions and the decarbonization of public infrastructure. It's within this strategic framework where climate action meets economic opportunity that our project was both conceived and successfully implemented. This project represents a comprehensive and forward-thinking approach to energy efficiency with a clear focus on the decarbonization of our educational and childcare infrastructure. Through a series of targeted upgrades, we have modernized multiple school facilities across the municipality. Key interventions include the installation of air-to-water and reversible heat pumps to optimize heating and cooling systems, significantly reducing our dependence on fossil fuels. We have also equipped school rooftops with photovoltaic systems, PV, harnessing solar energy as a clean, renewable power source, allowing us to maximize energy savings across different buildings within the municipality. Together, these energy efficiency upgrades can demonstrate how climate action can go hand in hand with smart infrastructure investment. As part of our educational infrastructure improvements for energy independence and healthier communities, energy upgrades are nearly complete in 5 schools and 1 daycare center, marking a key step in Domokos' decarbonization strategy. These improvements support our climate goals with enhancing air quality and temperature regulation, making schools and childcare facilities safer and healthier, particularly for children with respiratory conditions. They also reduce energy costs, allowing us to redirect resources to critical social services, benefiting families and strengthening our community. Among the most impactful elements of the project is the photovoltaic park at Mechelen, utilizing virtual net metering, as well as our active participation in 19 energy communities. These initiatives strengthen our local energy sovereignty, reduce external energy dependency, and promote community-based energy solutions. Now, I'll hand over to Mrs. Opoulou, who will take us through the community engagement process and the impact the project has had so far. Mrs. Sopoulou.
Thank you, Mayor. Hello, as the head of programming, organization, IT and transparency of the municipality, I have been in charge of community engagement. So regarding the project, community engagement has been at the heart of it from the very start. We actively involved a wide range of groups, citizens, local schools, and key stakeholders across Domokos. In addition, scientific collaborators, energy researchers, and university faculties contributed by sharing valuable insights into the benefits of clean energy. Their expertise helped inform and educate the public, strengthening awareness and understanding. This broad and inclusive engagement was essential not only to build trust and transparency, but to ensure that everyone felt a sense of ownership and connection to the project. By involving people early and meaningfully, we laid the groundwork for both effective implementation and lasting community impact. Joining forces for sustainable progress means more than collaboration. It means for us building strategic research partnerships that drive informed, effective action. By using data-driven decision-making, we ensured that every step we took was grounded in evidence and impact. Knowledge sharing played a key role too, with events and community sessions offering valuable information and opportunities to learn from the experts and by each other. Just as important for us was the ability to mobilize funding and resources, because our municipality is a small, rural one, lacking resources. In addition to strong local efforts, the success of the project relied heavily on vital external support. Key sponsorship was actively pursued and generously secured from the Union of Greek Ship Owners, whose financial contribution played a pivotal role to the implementation of the project. Equally important was the close collaboration with the Ministry of Infrastructure, which provided essential institutional backing and logistical assistance, ensuring both coordination and implementation. This partnership between local initiative and national support was fundamental to the project's overall success. The upgrades to our educational infrastructure have created healthier learning environments by improving air quality and temperature regulation, reducing respiratory problems for students, and not only. These changes make schools safer, more comfortable, and inclusive environments. Additionally, clean energy initiatives have lowered energy bills for public facilities, which means freeing up funds for essential social services, education, and healthcare. Most importantly, these efforts ensure that the benefits of clean energy are accessible to all citizens, promoting equity and community cohesion. I'll now turn it back over to the Mayor for some final remarks.
Domokos may be small in size, but we are ambitious in vision. Our approach is strategic, inclusive, and forward-thinking, focused on creating lasting positive change for both the environment and our community. We believe in acting locally for a greener tomorrow, implementing solutions that not only address today's challenges, but also lay the groundwork for a sustainable future. At the heart of our efforts is innovation with purpose. We're constantly finding new ways to tackle energy and climate challenges. And we are doing it with care, adapting our solutions to fit the specific needs of our community while ensuring long-term benefits for everyone. Thank you for the opportunity to share the work we have been doing in Domokos. We are proud of the progress made so far and remain focused on continuing our efforts toward a more sustainable future.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor and Ms. Sisopoulou, for the presentation. I think it's inspiring to see how much you've achieved, considering the size of the municipality, and to see that you can go forward with so much ambition. Don't hesitate, and to the audience, to leave questions in the chat. We'll take some questions right now for Domokos if you have any. And if there are none, I wanted to follow up to kind of also ask, considering the size and being a small municipality, what was the biggest challenge that you encountered to implement this project? And kind of how did you overcome such challenges?
Η έβριση χρηματοδότησης για την οποία συνεργαστήκαμε το Υπουργείο Οικονομών.
Well, the biggest challenge for the implementation of the project was finding resources, the funding. We found a solution because of the positive thought of the Union of Hellenic Ship Owners and the collaboration with the Ministry of Infrastructure. A fund of 6 million euros came for the renovation of the buildings and for clean energy, secure clean energy to the educational facilities.
Thank you. So the collaboration and national level collaboration and facilitation was crucial then for the success of this project.
Yes.
So it's good to hear. Now we're going to, if there are no more questions for Domokos, even though there'll be a moment at the end also for questions, we're going to move on to the city of Mechelen in Belgium, which is just between Brussels and Antwerp. Here, the jury in awarding Mechelen the prize applauded Mechelen's comprehensive planning and coalition building, as well as its concrete steps and project towards implementation. So we'll hear from Igor van der Weyer, the heat policy advisor of the city of Mechelen, who will give us an insight onto how they did the planning and how they're working on the implementation of their heat transition. Leaving it to you.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Alison, for this introduction, and thank you for inviting us and giving us the opportunity to present our work. My name is Igor van der Weyer, so I work at the climate department of City of Mechelen, and one of the key projects I was involved in is the municipal heat plan that we delivered last year. So just a quick introduction about Mechelen and the challenge we are facing. So Mechelen is the fifth biggest city in Flanders with a population of 87,000 inhabitants. We signed a covenant of mayors in 2012, and one of the key challenges we are facing is the decarbonization of our heating, not only for municipal buildings but all buildings in Mechelen. And fossil fuel consumption right now takes almost half of the total emissions in our city, and mainly it's gas that's responsible for this. And just to give an idea of the challenge here in the city, if we count the number of connections to the gas grid, we have around 35,000 connections, of which 30,500 are residential connections. And if we want to switch them all to clean heating systems by 2050, we need to tackle more than 1,400 connections per year and help them to change their heating system. And that's a huge challenge. Nevertheless, we have a plan. So together with local stakeholders and city administration and policymakers, we made an heat transition vision. So that's how we see a possible switch to 2050 by phasing out fossil fuel consumption and other practices related to that, and scaling up clean heating solutions such as heat networks and heat pumps. So in our vision, we distinguished 4 key pillars. and I will explain them today. We also identified 5 guiding principles, such as affordability, skills and capacities of the building and install sector, local community benefits, and so on. So these guiding principles need to be translated in all our actions in order to advance. But the first pillar is heat planning, or how we use our spatial planning policy and building permit procedures as a leverage to stimulate heat network projects or heat projects, and therefore we need to develop new planning instruments and integrate them in our existing practices. And one of these instruments are heat zoning plans. So we have made a heat zoning plan for city of Mechelen, and we also developed local guidance with potential maps, fact sheets, and local directives about these renewable heat sources or other solutions that are possible, but are where people lack knowledge or lack examples or how to implement that in practice. A second pillar is heat networks. Mechelen is a dense city. We have an historic city center with a very concentrated heat demand. We have some industrial areas, and we also have ambitious urban renewal projects. And all 3 of them offer opportunities to roll out district heating networks. And we as a city take the role of an energy broker to really facilitate this matchmaking between producers and consumers of heat via heat networks. And we believe that heat networks are a way to maximize the potential of the local renewable and residual heat sources that are present here in Mechelen. We do not have a large waste incinerator with an abundant amount of waste heat, but we do have our rivers, the soil, sewage system, data centers, all of sewage water recovery, sewage water treatment plants, all of these that can actually be used as a heat source via heat pump for large-scale heat networks. There is one heat network under construction. That's the one in the middle in Keerdok, the picture in the middle, where we have a heat exchanger in a sewage water system, 140 meters long, and where we extract heat from the sewage water and use that distribute the heat via heat network to heat pumps in 3 project developments. In total, we have around 300 dwelling units that get their heat this way, and that combined with geothermal borehole energy storage fields. And it's this principle that we want to repeat in the Ragueno Urban Renewal Project on the right. That's a development of more than 2,500 dwellings and more than 100,000 square meters office, where we also want to exploit the potential of aquathermal energy from the canal. A third pillar is building decarbonisation, because we need to support citizens and businesses to choose for clean heating systems, and they need technical advice and financial guidance for that. So we have a building renovation service as a one-stop shop for domestic heating, and more and more we are also organizing collective project development assistance via neighborhood renovations and condominium renovations. What you see is our mobile office that's located in one of the neighborhoods that we tackled last year. And on the right, you see that we also mapped all condominiums in Mechelen, because these are complex building typology with a higher ratio of energy poverty and so on. And this way, we are able to have a very targeted service for this building homeowners. And one thing we realized throughout our actions is the fact that that we as a local authority have an important role to play, but we cannot tackle this challenge on our own. And therefore we need, no actor can do that. So therefore we need collaborations. And what we did is setting up a strategic partnership, a heat coalition, in which we unite forces with local stakeholders that are able to engage with us and to commit their resources also to implement the heat plan. It's a local alliance between governments, businesses, but also civic society. And we started it with a transition arena. That was a workshop series where we co-designed our heat transition vision and co-created our action plan. And last year, we also signed a charter with 25 key local stakeholders, including energy cooperatives, distribution system operators, and so on, expressing our engagement. My presentation is almost to an end. I just want to highlight two cases from our city that beautifully capture the spirit of our heat plan and our heat strategy. The first one is our climate district Mechelen. What you see here is the ring road of Mechelen, which used to be a two-way ring road, but a couple of years ago, the government decided to introduce a one-way traffic here. This way, creating space for greenery and so on. And the whole ring road will be renewed, and that is a good opportunity to see, okay, can we also combine it with construction of a heat network? One of the common building typologies along the ring road are condominiums, which need a retrofit. They are from the 80s with no maintenance up until now, so they are in an urgent need of renovations. And at the same time, with their central heating systems, they could be an attractive consumer for heat networks. So the study we did 2 years ago was with the Flemish government to check how we can take steps for a heat network in this part of the city. And a second project is it's more about solar energy, but it's a social housing energy community Otterbeek, in which the city, together with the Social Housing Corporation and a local energy cooperative, installed solar panels on 200 dwelling units with social tenants and sharing the energy among each other. So this way, we made it possible that the local community could share and benefit from local renewable energy. And I would also launch a call to you. If you want to read more information about this project, you can do so on the webpage of the EU Sustainable Energy Week, because this project is nominated for this year's award in the category Local Energy Action. So please go to the website. You can use the QR code and cast your vote for this project. And lastly, I want to draw your attention to the partnership Building Decarbonisation. That's a partnership we are leading together with the Green Building Council España, in which all the themes that we tackle with our heat plan, we will exchange knowledge and and collaborate with other organizations and the European Commission to develop better regulation, better knowledge, and better funding on these themes. So you can follow the partnership just started, and we run for 3 years, and you can follow our progress and get involved via our website. So I want to thank you once again, the Covenant of Mayors Office and Euroheat and Power, for this invitation. I will want also to congratulate the other two cities and municipalities, and thank you for joining this webinar.
Thank you very much, Igor. Very impressive to see everything Mechelen is doing on multiple fronts and how you're working from, stakeholder engagement to planning to implementation of very concrete projects, all at the same time. So that's, big congratulations and it's great to see what you're doing. We have a question in the chat for you. What is the most promising approach to develop small local heating grids, and what do people need in order for these projects to get realized? I think this is an important question because the question of developing new heating grids is pretty critical. So if you have an answer.
It's a key question for us as well, and I think it also depends on the context. So Mechelen is in Flanders, there's actually no tradition on district heating. So we only have 90 district heating networks in Flanders. So also the supporting framework for heating networks is, let me say, minimal. So in this way, we had one of the things that helped us the most was the fact that we took this role of an energy broker, because we identified that there is also you cannot enforce a heat network in this context to heat developers or to heat clients or to heat producers, but you need to enter a dialogue and a conversations with them, and their local authority is well placed as a neutral actor, and that's a role we took on, an energy broker. So and bridging the gap between these different actors, and I think that idea of an energy broker can be replicated everywhere. So we are also part of a community with public and private energy brokers in all of Flanders and the Netherlands, exchanging knowledge between each other, and this way learning a lot from other projects, because although there is a difficult context in Flanders, there are a lot of other municipalities and cities and projects going on, and with this community we are able to really exchange very practical stuff with each other. And it can happen. In Ostend, 5 years ago, they were able to roll out a cooperative heat network, which is now 5 kilometers long. In Antwerp, in a district in Mortsel, that's a city next to Antwerp, they were also able to have a cooperative heat network with waste heat from an industrial plant, and the energy cooperative Klimaan, which emerged 5 years ago, is now also was able to have its first heat net project in a municipality in Heist op den Berg, which is 20 minutes ride from Mechelen. So you see that there is a movement popping up in Flanders.
Well, it's great to hear there's momentum and traction around that in Flanders, and that also the cooperation at regional level and knowledge exchange is really important there, because you face the same framework and barriers. So good to hear that you're working together. Now we're gonna hear from our third and last winner, Lappeenranta, Finland. Here, the jury, in awarding the prize to Lappeenranta, the jury commended the city's ambitious carbon neutrality goals. It's already very low CO2 rates in its district heating, and also its commitment to energy sovereignty. So we're going to hear more about this from Tia Kuru as Energy Director of Lappeenranta Energy Oy. And she will present the city's heat decarbonization strategy using renewable-based district heating and efficient thermal energy storage. I leave it to you.
So, hello everybody. So my name is Tiia Kiuru, and I come from Lappeenranta, Finland, and I thank you for the award and thank you for this opportunity to come and tell you a little bit what Lappeenranta has done, what they have done to achieve more renewable-based district heating network and what kind of solutions we have done. But first, a little bit about Lappeenranta. Lappeenranta is a small scale, or in Finnish scale, it's a medium-sized town in southeastern Finland, right next to Russian border. So population about a little bit more than 70,000. And Lappeenranta Energy, or Lappeenrannan Energia in Finnish, it's a city-owned energy and water company. And I represent Lappeenrannan Energia, and we operate about 400 kilometers district heating network, and that covers almost all the houses in the city areas. And the annual heat production, district heat production, is about 600 gigawatt hours. And Lappeenranta aims to achieve carbon neutrality by 2030. And district heating is very crucial in achieving this goal. So what we have done, you can see here the yellow columns represent the natural gas use. We started the district heating in the 1970s with natural gas, and in 2009 we built a biomass boiler, which you can see here with the green columns. It uses biomass and a little bit peat, which we will probably end using quite soon. And the recent years, the last couple of years, you can see that there's this blue color, and that is electric boilers or heat produced by electricity. And on the next slide, you can see what has happened to the district heating CO2 emissions. So when we started with natural gas, it was about 200 grams per kilowatt hour, and last year it was only 30 grams per kilowatt hour. And the share of CO2 neutral energy sources in district heating last year was almost 90%. And the next slide will tell a bit more what are the steps that we have taken. There are quite many. This doesn't cover all of them, but maybe most of them. But in 1975, as I mentioned already, we built a natural gas. This was a combined cycle gas turbine power plant, which was replaced, as I already mentioned, in 2009 by a biomass combined heat and power plant. It's a large power plant. We built it together with this UPM pulp and paper company. And it produces or can produce most of our district heating need, except the winter times. But after this, we have done quite many projects. I have done heat pumps. We have acquired heat produced with hydrogen. We have built a wood pellet boiler, turned old gas boilers to burning wood pellet. We have made connections between district heating networks to increase the share of biomass. And we have modernized our old electric boiler. And this we have developed this new concept. This I will tell you a little bit more a little bit later, but it's electric heat and storage. And there's some kind of optimization project it's going on, and concentrates on how consumers' heat demand can be optimized so that it supports this renewable heat production. And this year we have completed the building of this large heat storage, and well, more is coming. But the next slide, I would like to tell a little bit more about this power to heat thermal energy storage. This was a pilot project, and this stores electricity as thermal energy. The output of this plant was 800 kilowatts. It was for charging and discharging, and the storage capacity 4 megawatt hours. The solution was developed by Elstor. This is a local startup company, and Lappeenranta University of Technology. And the project received funding from EU and city of Lappeenranta. And of course, because this was a pilot project, it had some problems. For example, we have to change the material for storing the energy, and we even changed the location of this energy storage to another district heating network. But after all the use experience and all the testing, it became a commercial product, and it has been sold to many industrial customers, mainly for producing steam and replacing fossil fuels. But this our project was taken into use in November 2023, and in the first winter it covered about 30% or reduced about 30% of the natural gas that we use. And if you take the next slide, so this is what it looked like. This is only 1 week on the last winter. So it was our second winter with that plant. So we learned to use this power plant, and there were this heat storage plant, and there was a AI-based charging algorithm developed for this. So it optimizes the charging and discharging of the storage by predicting the heat demand and electricity prices, so that it can be charged when the price of electricity is cheap and discharged when the price of electricity is high. And this shows this 1 week when there were quite high electricity prices, and that time the gas was needed, but only for a little while, so we could cover most of the winter time district heating need with this solution. It was very much, it was crucial for this district heating network. So my presentation is almost over, but if you want more information about this power to heat thermal energy storage, please check the Elstor website, and Green Reality Lappeenranta, the other link, is also a good place to get more information what we have done here. And this is my presentation. I want to thank you everybody for attention and congratulate all the other award winners.
Thank you very much. And again, yeah, to you, congratulations. And it's great to see a lot of times from the cities in Finland how this journey has really been, something that's over time, that's been you've been working on for decades, consistently and constantly innovating to reduce even more the the fossil fuels and the emissions. So warm congratulations to you, and very interesting to see how you're innovating. I don't know if there are any questions here for Lappeenranta. I have one, which is about mainly the energy poverty and how this new technology, kind of the role it plays in addressing energy poverty in the city and providing affordable heating for vulnerable populations more specifically.
A very large question. Yeah, but of course, this is also a financial issue. Of course, we have to provide district heat that people can afford. All the projects that we develop have to be also that they have to be economically friendly and climate friendly. They have to be cost efficient as well, because people here in north parts of Europe, they need this district heating, and it has to be affordable.
Are there any other, don't hesitate to drop any questions for our panelists here. We have about 5 minutes to take questions on their presentations or beyond, if there are things you feel you'd like to hear more about. I would like to hear from, now that we can pass on to the panel kind of discussion and Q&A. I would like to hear maybe from each and one of you what you would recommend to other cities who are embarking on their journey, say that they are where your city was 5 to 10 years ago. What would you recommend, and what do you think really was the key success factor in the achievements that you've attained in the past years? I'll give the floor first to Domokos. Any recommendations for similar cities such as yourself embarking on a journey?
Τι θα προτείναμε αν ήμασταν 5 χρόνια σε άλλους δήμους όπως εμείς?
Well, in case of suggesting what actions should be taken from similar municipalities as we are, I would say that public engagement is the key to every success. Clean energy is a target for all of us, but we can't implement projects and do things boosting on it without engaging the public. That's the key to every action regarding it.
Yeah, thank you. And Igor, for Mechelen, for example, what do you think was really the key to success in the Heat Coalition and in getting all these stakeholders on board, and as Evangelia said, to engage people sometimes is also the hardest part. So what would you say made that work in Mechelen with your coalition?
Well, I find it's a difficult question because it sometimes feels that you need to take action on multiple fronts. So of course you need the capacity to do this, and there's and of course you are faced with scarcity of resources. So for City of Mechelen, engaging in European projects was one way of making room to have capacity and expertise to work on this topic. But on the other end, I think a key thing in our heat plan is the fact that we try to combine both planning and envisioning, and at the same time implementing real projects and already provide support via your existing services and improve them. So I think this and they can both feed each other. So it's not and I think that's a strength if you are able to do that, so that you are able to do some pilot projects, but also learn from them and embed that in policy and the other way around. And in our heat coalition, I think collaboration is a key to really bring, but it also needs another mindset. It needs trust, you need to collaborate, you need to be able to listen to other other sectors, to other policy levels. But I remember from the transition arena we did with the key stakeholders that they found that very valuable to really hear from other perspectives. And this, there was really a level of trust and that I really remember from then. So I think, and it might need more time or effort initially, but I think in the end it will pay off.
Yes, and I have one question here for Lappeenranta more specifically. So does Lappeenranta Energia see the district heating utilities participating in the up-down regulation of the electricity grid with switching on-off their electric boilers and/or heat pumps? We see more and more utilities here in Denmark improving their business cases for new investments simply because of the additional revenue stream by collaborating with the local electricity distribution company.
Yeah, of course it is. But when we use electricity for producing district heating, it's always a chance. And with the electric boilers, even with this our pilot project, it's so fast it can operate with this grid operators reserved market, and it gets some extra money from those markets. So it's very it's not crucial, but it's very important thing, and it's also important for the electricity grid that everybody supports it. We use the electricity at the time when it's available.
And how does in Lappeenranta the collaboration look like, and what made it successful?
I don't know. We are ambitious. I mean, we are not afraid to try. So
Yes.
maybe that.
And how much interest is there for bioclimatic architecture and passive solutions in the different cities? Which I would assume also is a lot regarding both heating and cooling.
So can you repeat the questions or what?
Sorry, it's a question that just came in through the chat. How much interest is there for bioclimatic infrastructure and passive solutions? Passive cooling, passive heating solutions.
I'm just checking at bioclimatic architecture. Okay. I'm not sure if this is meant for Lappeenranta or somebody else.
I think it's for everybody. Igor, maybe you have an answer.
Yeah, I think Mechelen, we have adopted our heat plan, but the recast of the Energy Efficiency Directive will ask municipalities with more than 45,000 inhabitants to compose a heat and cooling plan. And especially the cooling part, we might need to improve, not improve, add it in our plan. And I think for the cooling part, passive architectural solutions, not only for buildings but also districts, are highly relevant. And I think that's also a common thread in heat planning and in cooling planning, that there is a very close relation between your building design or your built environment characteristics and the energy you need for cooling and for heating. So in that sense, passive measures can really have an impact on what kinds of solutions you will need. That's what attracted me in this topic. I'm an architect for background. I worked 8 years as an architect priorly, and especially in heat zoning plans, for instance, there is a strong correlation in the density of buildings and thus your heat demand and the potential heat solution that you want for that area. So yeah.
This is a very interesting question and makes a good link between the city's heat detox campaign and the current campaign we're running and the Covenant of Mayors. It's mostly on cooling, including many passive cooling solutions, the city's refresh, and how to combat heat waves. Now, to close the webinar, I'm going to give the floor to Oksana from Your Heat and Power, who's going to tell us a bit more about the crash course on district heating for cities that is going to happen in Prague next month.
Thank you very much, Alison, and congratulations once again to the winners of the Covenant of Mayors Awards. It was an ultimate pleasure to be part of the jury on behalf of Your Heat and Power, and to read your really ambitious projects and innovative solutions for decarbonizing heating and cooling in your municipalities and cities. So indeed, on behalf of Your Heat and Power, I would like to tell you a little bit more about an interesting training program designed for local authorities, cities, municipality representatives, and city-owned energy companies, which will take place in Prague on the 3rd of June in conjunction with the Your Heat and Power Congress there. So we designed this program based on the experience and feedback from last year. It's going to be the second edition of the Crash Course for Cities. And with the support of the Covenant of Mayors Europe and the CE Bankwatch Network, we have developed a very interesting program, which I would like to introduce to you. The Crash Course will be a one-day workshop. In the morning, we will start with welcoming participants and also a round of introductions, because as it was highlighted by several speakers in this webinar, this knowledge exchange and sharing experiences and lessons learned is very important for cities to start their decarbonization journey or to learn from others. So we will have a very interactive introduction session. And then we will have 3 main sessions of the crash course. The first one will focus on heat without burning, which relates very closely with the city's heat detox campaign. So how do we get rid of fossil fuels? What are the alternative heat sources that are available in most cities in Europe? We will look more closely into geothermal district heating, large-scale heat pumps, and waste heat recovery projects and experiences of other European cities. The second session will focus on the modernization of the existing district heating networks, but we will also look into the correlation with the building renovation. And here we will have some partners from the Building Decarbonization Partnership that will also present their experiences and share it with the participants. We will tackle the topic of the technical refurbishment of old DHC systems, which are very well developed in the Central and Eastern Europe. But we will also look into the digitalization of heat networks and more innovative solutions on how to adapt the existing networks to the future challenges. And last but not least, we will have the third session, which will focus on getting stakeholders on board, which was also highlighted on several occasions during this webinar. It's very important to involve all stakeholders into the projects. We will also hear from the successful marketing approaches, how to promote district heating and cooling, and also discuss available financing opportunities and business models. So if you are interested in all these topics, I invite you to register for the crash course. It's completely free for local authorities, city municipality representatives, and municipally owned district heating companies. And to register, you need to visit the EHP Congress website, select the EU National Local Representative or NGO ticket, which is free, indicate your interest in participating in the crash course for cities, and complete the registration process. Of course, we will manually verify all the registrations for the crash course, and those who are eligible will receive a confirmation emails from your Hidden Power, and we look forward to seeing you in Prague. Thank you very much for this opportunity to present the crash course, and thank you once again to the Covenant of Mayors on our great collaboration on the Cities Heat Detox campaign and the upcoming crash course for cities.
Thank you, Oksana. And now that our time is up, I just wanted to finish by letting everyone know we will send out the webinar recording and presentations. And once again, congratulating the 3 winners of the Covenant of Mayors Award on their ambition, vision, innovation, and concrete step towards healthier heating for all. And to find out more about this, we're going to have our big Covenant of Mayors ceremony this year on October 16th, 2025. So you can mark it already in your calendars. There will be a panel with the mayors from the 3 awarded cities, and a conversation with EU decision makers on decarbonizing heating and cooling. So thank you very much, and have a lovely day, everyone. And I'm happy you could attend.
Our pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Bye. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.